Hey guys, what's up? Hope everybody's doing good out there today. Thanks for taking out a few minutes of your day to watch the video. Much appreciated. And today we're going to do a topic on another one I've been wanting to do for a while because it seems like I get a lot of comments from a lot of the haters talking about age. And I want to talk about a little bit about it. What age should professional bass anglers be retiring at? So I was going to sort of give you some of my thoughts on it, have a little discussion. We'll be curious to hear yours too on that. So hey, real quick, just a few housekeeping tips. Just wanted to remind you guys, if you get a chance, go over to fishinthemoment.com, check out our lake map breakdowns. Man, we got lake map breakdowns of all the lakes across the country. We're doing personal breakdowns. If you want some help with your favorite lake, finding some good spots, check it out on fishinthemoment.com. And also on my end, Intuitive Angling, again, I want to give you guys my weekly reminder. I'm offering memberships to the channel. If you guys want to help support the channel, it's a great way to do it. You get extra videos that aren't seen by the public, access to my personal email for your fishing questions, and you can go to the About section of my YouTube page, click on Intuitive Memberships, and it'll take you to that link there. Much appreciated. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about this. What age should anglers retire? And according to some of the people out there, it should be in your 50s, because I get comments all the time saying I need to hang it up from the haters out there. Doesn't matter how good I do, if I make championships or whatever, you're always going to have people think about that. But I think it's a legitimate question that should be asked out there, because we're getting, it's like we're sort of in like the I'm guessing close to the third generation of pro anglers from the time it started back in the 70s. So up until recently, you know, we didn't really have guys that were retirement age. There's some old timers out there now, there's some guys out there now that are in their 70s that, you know, started back when bass was formed back in the early to mid 70s that are still fishing. But we're sort of just now getting to the deal where a lot of those anglers that have been fishing professionally for a long time are at the retirement age or past retirement age. So that begs the question, it's like, at what age should professional anglers retire? And there's a couple different ways to look at that. The first thing I want to say about this is I don't agree with the fact that the anglers on whatever, I don't care if it's the Bassmaster Elite or whatever tour, I don't think that anglers as they get older should have exemptions into the tournaments if they're not performing over a period of time. Now, yeah, if you, as far as just on a short-term deal, like a one-time deal, I can understand that. A lot of the tournament organizations, they make up the rules as they go along. They bend the rules. Nothing's really in stone as far as how you qualify for different circuits or even how you get into certain circuits. It's all over the board. But I don't think that as an angler, say for example, if you've got a marquee angler that has been at the top of his game forever, and he has a series of 6 or 7 bad years in a row that drop other people out, but they maintain their position because of some type of a legend status. I think there's a point where that's not really right. So from that standpoint, that would be a great time probably to step aside and retire. But as far as the actual retiring from professional fishing, in my opinion, I don't think there should be an age. I don't think there should be any type of mandatory retirement from that, because the thing about fishing is it's one of the few sports that doesn't discriminate against some physical limitations and age. You know, ideally, the thing that I've always sort of fought in my own mind with, I always felt that as an angler got better, as an angler got older, they just continue to get better and better and better. And when I was young, I always thought, it's like, okay, when these guys like Roland Martin and all those guys get to be in their 70s and stuff like that, they're going to be unbeatable because they've got so much fishing experience that nobody can compete with the experience and years on the water they got. That's the biggest myth in fishing right there, because I can tell you guys right now, experience has, you know, it plays a part in success in tournaments, but it doesn't play much of a part, because you get a lot of guys out there that are in their 20s and they're beating the pants off of these guys that have been fishing for 40 and 50 years. So I've always said that imagination and creativity is more important than experience in fishing. But as far as the retirement age on that, I don't think there should be really an age on that. I think that the retirement, sort of like the benchmark for it should be performance a little bit, because like I said, once an angler, reaches a certain age, their performance naturally drops off. That's part of the natural curve. Nobody out there has transcended that. Now, there's been a few people out there that as they got older, they've won a tournament here or there, and they've had their days in the sun on a limited basis, but nobody that fishes out there has been able to maintain the level of consistent performance. The only person out there that's even come close has been Larry Nixon. Larry, fishing the FLW Tour in his 60s, still made the FLW Cup every year, which is a very difficult accomplishment. It's more difficult than making the Bassmaster Classic, and he's done that well up into his 60s. So he's the only one that's even come close with that. But as you get older, professional fishing is not like a lot of different jobs out there, because guys, in pro fishing, you don't have a pension, you don't have a retirement, you don't have the normal safety nets that you do with working a traditional job. So that creates a situation where a lot of anglers, as they get older, they've got to keep fishing, or they've got to figure out some type of way to keep generating income, because most of them simply don't have that, safety net that a lot of people do that have worked for a company for 30 or 40 years. It's just not there. So that's, I think, another reason you see that. One other reason you don't see pro anglers retiring that much as they get older is the fact that they just are passionate about it. They love it, and it's like if they quit fishing, sort of a part of them dies with that a little bit. I think that happens a lot from the anglers that sort of resist the aging process and don't transition into sort of something else a little bit. But that's a big part of it right there, is just love for the sport. But eventually what happens is, I don't care who you are, how long you've been doing it, if you've been doing it for decades and decades and decades, it gets tiring driving thousands of miles across the country. It gets tiring, staying in strange places, dealing with being away from home for long periods of time. That burns anyone out, especially somebody that gets older in there. So I'm sort of torn on a little bit. Obviously nobody should mandate a retirement age. I'm not saying that whatsoever on there, but I think that everybody sort of has to address this question themselves based upon their own unique situation, their own lifestyle. But I think one of the things that anglers have to do as they get older, and like I said, I'll be 60 years old this November, so I'm getting into that category now. But I like to sort of step away from my own situation and look at the situation from a third party's perspective. And for me, one of the healthiest things that I've been able to do in my fishing is to be able to begin to transition away from a super competitive, hard charging, hardcore tournament hogger like I was forever, into different roles, like this teaching role here, or map building with Fish the Moment. A lot of different stuff that you can really, it can become extremely satisfying, extremely gratifying to be able to give something back a little bit more in there. So my answer to that is no. I don't think there should be a mandatory retirement. I don't think there should be any set retirement age for professional anglers. I do think that the Legends exemptions and all the exemptions that come with some people that some people get in the tournaments, I don't really think that's a good thing. And it's almost like when you start having to need that all the time to stay into it, that might be a good time to transition into something else and start shifting the focus into another part of our time here on the planet. But I don't know, some people are just going to do it until they can't make another cast again. I can understand that. And I think most people out there that quit tournament fishing when they retire, I think they continue to fish. And a lot of times they stop fishing for bass and start fishing for crappie and everything. I know several people like that, and they're happier now than they've ever been, just not, chasing bass like they did before. So let me know what you guys think. Be curious to know. Interesting topic out there. It's sort of something that eventually if you're fortunate, everybody's going to have to ask themselves that question, and we'll see how it goes. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. If you guys hadn't had a chance, please hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. See you.